Football is a game of moments. Given that any play lasts on average 5 seconds, the actual time spent playing a football game is typically around only 12 minutes. Given the runtime of an NFL game being 60 minutes, typically only 1/5 of the game time is actually spent playing football. This gives us a much better perspective on exactly how important each second really is in a game, and how important it is to optimize these moments. And that's exactly the job of all the people around the players themselves, like the coaches, coordinators, and trainers, for example. They're tasked with optimizing the little bits of time that a team is given every week. But these people are exactly that, just people. They're prone to mistakes and poor judgment, and of course don't have the ability to process millions of data points like computers can. So, what if the biggest potential difference maker wasn't even on the field? What if the biggest difference maker wasn't even capable of being on the field? Well, that's what AI is. AI has started to play a bigger and bigger role in the NFL, changing how the game is played, coached, and even watched. It's really not a futuristic concept anymore. It's here, and it's already making its mark, both on and off the field. Like I said before, every second in the NFL matters. AI is giving teams the tools to make smarter, faster decisions when it comes to player performance. Using wearables and motion capture technology, teams can track everything from a player's sprint speed to their recovery levels after a big game. These tools aren't just helping teams keep tabs on physical stats, they're reshaping how we understand player fatigue, efficiency, and even their mental focus. On a broader scale, teams are using AI to monitor player workloads throughout the season. It's not just about game day performance, of course, it's about keeping players at their peak through all 17 weeks. By tracking data trends, teams can schedule optimal rest periods, adjust training intensity, and even predict when a player might be at risk of burnout. Imagine a world where star players are less likely to miss critical games because of preventable fatigue and injuries. That's the potential that AI brings to the table. As a matter of fact, this very initiative has been under work since December 5th, 2019, when the NFL decided to collaborate with Amazon Web Services, which is what's behind their next-gen stats, to create what is called the digital athlete. This project was first used by every NFL team last year in the 2023 season. The system analyzes hundreds of hours of gameplay from many different angles. Using the data that it is given, it is able to determine how something as simple as the way a player is running may contribute to excess fatigue, which of course could contribute to an injury. As this technology continues to develop, it of course will become more in-depth and more lifelike, allowing for greater insights into the root cause of players' injuries. The NFL's eventual goal is to create a, quote, laboratory quality reconstruction of every player in every play. The digital athlete will eventually be able to develop not only recovery regimens, but also just plain old training regimens that have been specifically individualized for every single player in the NFL. On top of that, it can analyze the risk level of injuries for players in real time, giving this information while the games are actually being played. AI, however, doesn't just stop at helping the players stay healthy and perform better. It's stretched into the way coaches approach their strategy. Modern NFL isn't just about gut feelings or old school playbooks anymore. With AI, teams can analyze opponents' tendencies down to the smallest detail. For example, machine learning models can track a team's play calling patterns on third down or predict the likelihood of a blitz based on formations and personnel groupings. These insights give coaches a significant edge when crafting their game plans. Let's take someone like Derrick Henry, for example. One of the league's biggest, toughest, and most explosive running backs, notorious for not letting himself get tackled. AI systems don't just measure his top speed, they analyze the patterns in his movements, identifying when he's most likely to break a tackle based on situational data like the down and distance along with defensive formations. This allows coaches to tailor their play calling to not only maximize his effectiveness, but also slow him down on defense. This data can give crucial insight for play callers on the defensive end. Knowing when a player like Derrick Henry is most likely to break out for a massive run obviously helps you make much more optimized decisions when it comes to slowing him down. And one of the most fascinating uses of AI in game strategy is its impact on real-time decision-making. Take a fourth down situation as an example. Historically, these decisions were often based on intuition or just general football conventions. But now, AI can simulate thousands of game scenarios almost instantly, factoring in variables like field position, time remaining, score differential, and even weather conditions. These decisions can now be made with data to back them up, which can lead to outcomes that were not typically offered from the traditional play calling. One extremely interesting example that I hadn't heard of before my research for this video is that Jaden Daniels actually uses AI to improve his game. This practice supposedly started in 2023, his Heisman winning season with LSU, where he would use a VR headset that simulated on-field gameplay. The company that produced the headset is called Cognalize, I think I'm saying that right, and their intentions were actually originally to assist soccer players before they realized how useful it could be for a quarterback. They eventually got their product into the hands of LSU, where Daniels, along with all of the other LSU coaching staff that had tested the headset, praised it for how realistic the program was. After Daniels' first use of the headset, he was quoted as saying that he loved it and that he needs to do more of it. The headset allows for many more reps in high-intensity situations without the need of all the other players on the field. As a matter of fact, the system usually goes faster than how a play would fold in real life, meaning the user has to react faster, leading to quicker decision-making when you're actually playing. So it's no surprise why Daniels loved it so much. He of course carried the headset from LSU to the Commanders in the NFL, where he supposedly still uses it to improve his game. Besides being a massive help for just the players and everyone that directly surrounds the players, AI has been helpful to one of the most controversial aspects of not only the NFL, but of sports in general: the officiating. The NFL has started using computer vision to review plays, especially for calls involving whether a player was inbounds, if they caught the ball or not, and on penalties. Cameras track players' movement, and AI algorithms assist in making an accurate decision when there's a close call. Of course, a referee's goal is to ensure every call meets the highest accuracy standard, especially during critical plays that could alter the game's outcome. This technology is still in its infancy, but AI and efficiency could certainly make games fairer and more consistent. I want to quickly offer my opinion on this real quick, because I don't actually think referees, at least in the NFL, will ever be completely replaced by AI and will likely more just be supported by them. There's a couple different reasons I think this, but I'll just briefly explain a few. One of the biggest reasons would just be for the flow of the game and the viewing experience. As I'm sure you're aware, there are large groups of people that complain about the copious amounts of flags that are being thrown in today's game, while on the other side, there are a large number of people that complain about the massive amounts of missed flags that are not called. Implementing a good enough AI will lead to massive numbers of flags with nothing being missed, and this of course would slow the game down massively. While the aspect of every penalty being called seems like a positive, and it very well could just lower the total number of penalties that are committed by players, I think the experience of the viewer, which is all that really matters at the end of the day, would be greatly hindered by massive amounts of flags being called. Additionally, the referees just create a lot of buzz around the sport, which is absolutely invaluable to the NFL. When there's a missed call, people are talking about it. It brings attention to the sport. Adding on to this is when the chains are walked onto the field when a first down is too close to the side. When there's little time left in a game, nothing beats the suspense of waiting for the chain crew to walk on the field and place the marker, while you eagerly hope that your team got the first down. This enhances the viewing experience. With AI, none of this would happen. No officiating mistakes would be made, meaning no one talking about the officiating mistakes, and no chains would be needed because they would have the measurements down to the millimeter of where the ball should be. Nonetheless, some aspects of officiating could certainly be improved with the help of AI. Artificial intelligence is transforming the NFL in ways we could not have imagined just a couple of years ago. From injury prevention to coaching strategies to officiating, AI is proving its value across every corner of the game. And as technology evolves, so too will the way we experience football. Where do you guys see AI having an impact in the NFL in the future? Let me know in the comments. I'm honestly quite curious. But that's going to do it for this video. If you liked it, please consider subscribing because I love making these types of videos. Thank you for watching.